Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're good to go. All right, just how spring practice has been going for you so far?
I mean, it's good to get back out there with a great group of guys. We weren't really happy with where we left the season at last year, so we just came in with a different mindset, a different mentality. We were so ready to get back out there and try to make sure something like that didn't ever happen again. So it's been a good feeling getting out there, getting to practice, getting to compete with each other. We had a little bit of time off, but now things are starting to pick back up, and we're just trying to put things together, looking forward to the season.
You kind of talked about the mindset and stuff for the guys that were coming back. Was that something where you guys had conversations off the field, or was it just kind of something that everyone knew?
I mean, there wasn't really much that had to be said. Everything that the main point was left on the last game this past season, but everybody just came in with a mindset of we don't ever want to be in that situation again. We felt like we let ourselves down. We felt like we didn't do the best that we could in order to win the national championship. So everybody just came in with a different mentality, a harder working mentality, a more focused mentality, and that's just something we're trying to implement throughout the team so that that doesn't happen again.
You ever been around a group of running backs that has this much talent?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's crazy the amount of great players we have within that specific room. I mean, we got great players across the board on the team, but in that certain running back room, I mean, there's so many guys that can go in and contribute, and it'll be fun whenever fall gets here and we all get to go out and have a chance to show what we can do.
Yeah, ultimately, there's one football, so I mean, how heated does the competition get there?
It doesn't, just because of the fact that we're all working towards the same goal, and we're so close already. Even the new guys that just came in, we brought them along and showed them kind of how we operate and the mentality that we have of if one of us does good, we're all doing good. If one of us does bad, we're all doing bad. So we're all trying to prepare ourselves the best way that we can so that we can all go in and contribute and be helpful towards the team.
Have you been impressed with how the young guys have bought in? Like you said, they're kind of all one unit despite the competition for a starting job or playing time, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the young guys on the whole team have come in and they have the right mentality, they have the right work ethic, and they've just come in and been open to the mentality that this place has and the type of work ethic and what you have to put exactly into this program in order to be successful. So I think those guys have done a great job of coming in and being able to change their mindsets, being able to adapt to their surroundings, and I think it'll be good for us in the fall.
Other than the obvious get better, what is the goal of spring practice?
I think just to get a feel. It's a new team every year, so every year you lose guys, you gain new guys. So I think the biggest thing is to get a feel for your teammates, your new teammates, your old teammates. Kind of start to set a new identity for yourself as a team. No team is the same, so we just want to set a different identity and come together collectively as a whole. And it's kind of like a I guess camp, getting ready to go into fall camp in August. But I guess it's kind of like a just to see how things will go. And that's just what we're trying to do.
What do you like about spring ball? I mean, it's different, like you said, than camp. It's different than fall practice. It's different than in-season practices. What about spring do you specifically like?
I'm trying to think of the difference. It's not as hot in the spring. I would definitely say that that's the biggest difference between spring ball and fall camp. But at the end of the day, it's more about learning during the spring. When you go into camp, it's more about execution. That close to the season, everything has to be as close to perfect as possible. But now it's just more about learning and trying to get acclimated with everything that's going on. Old guys kind of refreshing themselves with what we've been through for the past couple of years, and new guys getting accommodated to what they have to do. So I think this is more about learning and just kind of getting a feel for the game.
It's been limited at this point, but what are your impressions of Coach Dable so far?
I mean, he's come in, he's done a great job. Personally, I think that he's doing a lot of good things with the offense. He brings high energy, attention to detail. There's a lot of things that he brings to this offense, and I think in the long run, it'll definitely benefit us.
I think a lot of people are going to be interested to see how things differ schematically. I know it's early. Have there been a lot of changes implemented at this point?
Yes and no. I mean, there's some things we do differently and some things that we do the same.
A little bit different offensively this year in that you have a returning starter at quarterback. Does that make things different? Does the spring feel a little bit different this year than it did last year in that regard, just knowing that you have a returning starter at that spot?
It does. I think it gives our offense a little bit more confidence. Last year we didn't really know. There was a lot of things we didn't know. We didn't know who was going to be the guy at certain positions. So it was, then we were really trying to find people to go in those positions. But now this year, Jalen's coming back. He obviously did a great job last year, and he's doing a great job in the spring. So it gives us a lot more confidence in him, a lot more confidence in ourselves that he'll put us in the right position in games. So we're definitely confident with him.
So far, but just, how's the environment been out there? How are these practices going so far?
The environment's been very good. Everybody's excited. These are the first couple of days of spring, so it's gonna obviously be like that all the time. So, but other than that, man, the guys are ready to just get better, man, and improve.
The motivation level around this program is always really high, but is it even maybe a little bit higher given how last season ended for you guys?
I would say so. Being able to, kind of come from that and also be able to learn from that and be able to improve all those things like that, it gives a kind of like a little chip on our shoulder. But we're going to try to keep everything the same and just kind of do the little things that we've been doing that got us to the point that we were last year.
From a defensive standpoint, the talent's always there, but it's always, it's reloading on that side of the ball. Just what's been your impression of some of the newer guys working their way in so far?
Just with the talent itself, man, we consistently rebuild each and every year. It's always there. I mean, for older guys like me and, Sean Hand, those guys like Christian Miller, for us, I feel like our job now is to kind of just help those guys, understand that even though you have the athletic ability to be able to come here and play, also be able to kind of perfect your craft too. So whenever it is, whenever it comes time for you to play, you'll be ready.
Is that tough initially when you break in? Because, guys come in 4 or 5 stars, but all of a sudden they're behind All-Americans.
That's what I guess the older guys, that's when we come in, we basically just kind of tell those guys, look, just patience is everything. Timing is key. Whenever your time is, be ready. And you never want to go out there and not be prepared. That's the worst thing possible. So that's what we try to do.
What is it?
No, you go.
What is it you think that allows? Because this certainly isn't the only score that happens where guys may have to wait a year or two to get on the field. But it seems like there's such a high number of guys that when they do finally get on the field, they perform at such an elite level. Why does that happen, do you think?
I feel like it's really with the leadership that you have on the team. And I think some of it too, I'm not going to take away from any of the players as well. I feel like it's a mindset that they have to have just internally for them to be able to understand that, I have to be patient and also perfect what it is that I'm trying to do. So whenever the time comes, I'll be ready.
You've been doing this a while now. What would you say the goal is for spring camp, other than just wanting to get better? That you say that, but what would you say kind of the goal is as a team, as a unit for spring camp?
Really, to be honest with you, is to have that chemistry. We want better chemistry now. I mean, we have the athletes, we have the schemes and all those X's and O's and all those things, but I feel like if you don't have any type of chemistry with the guys that you're playing with on the side of you, I mean, none of that really matters.
When y'all scrimmage in spring, what do you get out of that?
Really just to have like a game-oriented type situation, being able to play fast against, a fast-paced type offense. It kind of helps you, so whenever that time comes, you'll be ready.
Do you think those get pretty competitive even this early in the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Just with the atmosphere here, I mean, just with us being at University of Alabama, we love to be competitive. So whenever we do anything, it's always going to be like that.
Any young guys that have surprised you or really caught your eye so far?
Really just the whole linebacker crew, just with my crew itself. I mean, those guys, even though they're young, they have a good sense of knowing that, even though they are athletic, but they know they have room for improvement. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing. Some guys come in, they feel like they're the big shot. They feel like they don't have to get any better. But with these guys, man, they want to work.
There's been some turnover at that position. So I mean, is that something that you kind of express to these guys? Like, look, there's an opportunity here. If you bring your A game.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's what, be honest with you, I feel like that's with any position. I mean, no position is solid here. If you're not going to do your job the right way, that we will find another person that can replace you. So I feel like just with that type of atmosphere, all it does is for the guys who will start, that just makes them better to understand that, you have to, be on your P's and Q's because a guy that's behind you that can take your place. But at the same time, for younger guys to be able to understand that, don't always just, practice as if you're not going to play. because whenever you do that, you're not going to be ready when the time comes for you to get in. So I feel like that's with that whole situation. I feel like it'll be good for everybody.
You call them your crew. Do you take pride in that, being the older guy and just, everybody's looking up to you, watching you go through drills and wanting to mimic what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like now that I have kind of like the obligation now to really just, like I said, be on my P's and Q's, do all the right things, and not just, be a leader as in just speaking, but also be a leader as, leading it by example, to be honest with you. Sounds good.
It's only been a few of these so far, but how's spring practice been? How's the atmosphere out there?
It's been great. I can tell we're all really excited to get back out onto the field. We're all extremely hungry and looking forward to getting back and playing. I think it's gone very well so far. You can tell that we're all working extremely hard, and I think we're setting some really positive energy moving forward into the season.
Rashaan was kind of saying that given how last season played out, I mean, obviously the effort level and the expectations around you are always high, but he says there's even a little bit of an extra chip on guys' shoulders right now.
Yeah, I definitely think there is, just because, Coach Saban hasn't lost in a national championship. And, for us to have that happen to us, I feel like we're all extremely hungry and, dissatisfied with what happened last year. So I can tell we all have that extra chip on our shoulder, like Rashaan was talking about. So we're all, that much more hungry to continue our success.
What's been your impressions of Coach Dable so far? I know it's only been a handful of practices, but what have you seen from him?
He's been great. We all really enjoy working for him. He brings a ton of knowledge to our offensive meeting room. He's a joy to be around. I think he does a really good job teaching us the plays, and I can tell that he's going to be a really great offensive coordinator for us.
It's kind of a different situation than we've seen the last few springs, in that there is a returning starting quarterback.
Right.
How does that change things for you guys? How does that kind of change the environment around the offense?
Right. It's always nice having a guy that you think is going to be the starter, and so that kind of helps you grow a relationship with him, get to work with him, because it's always easier whenever you kind of have your guy already, and so that makes it definitely easier to foster a relationship, to know what your quarterback is going to do, know where his tendencies are, all that stuff, whether he's going to step up in the pocket, scramble, all that stuff makes it easier whenever you got a guy that you have a lot of trust in and a lot of faith in, like we do in jail.
O.J. Howard, what kind of stuff have you guys, I guess, as a group learned from him the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, O.J. definitely taught us a ton of stuff that is extremely valuable to all of us, and he's got major shoes that we have to fill. And so O.J. really just taught us, the finer points of route running, blocking, what it means to be a great leader, a great teammate, and that was what everything O.J. was. He was a great leader, a great teammate, even better guy. And so just things like that are something that we will dearly miss with O.J. And we have to work extremely hard to try and fill his shoes, because he was a great one, and we're definitely gonna be pushing ourselves to try and fill his role.
You've kind of seen your role develop, and as you go on into your third year, how do you tell the younger guys that it takes patience, that keep the grind, keep working hard, because a lot of people they come in and want to play right away, or situations like that. How can you use your experience to maybe talk to those younger guys?
Well, it's like you said, it's all about patience. I think patience helps build character, which is something that's extremely important. So the best advice that I can give is really, just, stay humble, keep working, keep your head down. Just because you're not playing right away doesn't mean you're not going to play. And we've seen many guys here who haven't played till their second, third, fourth year, who go on to do great things, whether it be here or even in the NFL. So just because you don't play your first year doesn't mean, you're not going to be a star on this team. So, the best thing I can say is just keep working hard.
Put it up to oh, it don't matter, for real?
Nah, you can start right now.
All right, bet.
How practice is going so far?
Practice is good, man. It's amazing. Just it feels good to be out there again.
For you individually, how excited are you? I mean, you're being looked at as one of the leaders on this defense this year. How excited are you for this season individually?
I'm very excited, just because I've been working so hard, so now it's just time to showcase what I can do.
You've displayed a lot of patience, which tends to happen to a lot of guys here just because of the talent level. Why is it guys like you are able to buy in and be patient and wait for your turn on this defense?
I think it's all with a mindset that you come in with. I mean, it's a humbling experience, but when it gets the hardest, that's when you got to be the toughest and push right through. And usually it ends up being, you're successful.
What have been your impressions of, I know it's early at this point, but just the defensive line, where are you guys at? What's your impression of this group?
Very athletic, and we have the attitude to be great.
How hungry has this team been to get back on the field?
Man, whew, I can't even answer that question, man. Like, we're very hungry, like, seriously. Like, I mean, it just gets me excited just thinking about it, to be honest. So.
How have you seen the younger guys buy into that hunger as well, even though they might not, the newcomers may not been here last year, but, they're hungry just like you are?
Well, it's just the culture around here. When you're a young guy coming in and you just see how things operate, excuse me, when you're a young guy coming in and you see how things operate, you just have no choice just to ride the wave, or you're going to be left behind.
Two more. The hunger that everyone's got coming into this season, were there conversations after last season ended, or is that just something that's kind of unsaid? Everybody just knew what the mindset had to be coming into spring?
Everybody just knew what the mindset was coming in the spring. That's what it is about being a competitor. Last season was last season, but as an athlete, you want to just keep improving, and that's what we're doing.
What do y'all get out of scrimmages this early in the year?
Just to see where you're at, just getting in the swing of things, game speed, actually tackling somebody, and just being technically sound and getting plays in a game time environment.
They get heated